Wow, that
And
took a while.
we are live, huh?
My internet, the thing kept spinning, and I'm sitting here going, and we're
Mm.
live. No, okay, and we're live. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
playing with
woo,
fire here.
and she's playing with fire.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
oh, excuse me, everybody. So, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Nancy and I again for another Divine Feminine Monday. We hope everybody had a beautiful weekend. It was quite interesting here. Um, there are lots of shows and did some painting. So it was a good weekend, pretty much a good weekend for me. How about you, Miss Nancy? How was your weekend? You got to read with Scott last night, you said?
Yes, I did. It was wonderful. I really enjoy reading with Scott, and it's wonderful to be here with you today and everyone, and to talk about
Yes,
our
always.
ancestors and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Mondays aren't the same without my Nancy. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate how everyone just welcomed and has just beautifully welcomed Elizabeth into our community. It was a pleasure having her on, and Nancy and I looked forward to having Elizabeth join her and I in the future for a little Divine Femme Club. So let's say hi to some people. And one of the first things I posted, though, too, if anybody wants to share, how do you reconnect with your ancestors? Or you may not know how to connect or may not know where to start connecting. And so Nancy and I will be pulling cards on that shortly. So stay tuned. And the beautiful Ange, Roots and Waves, is here. Hello, hello. And oh, the talented Lottie B.
Mm.
You love piano. You love beautiful music, piano playing. Go check out Lottie B's channel. Absolutely wonderful. She goes, "Hi Heather and Nancy. It's late evening here, so if I disappear, I fall asleep." Well,
Oh.
if you've fallen asleep, hopefully our voices have lulled you into a peaceful sleep, my dear. That is all good. Oh my goodness! Just popping on to say it's 5:02 and you are late. Actually, we started, but my StreamYard decided to hesitate on whether or not Nancy and I were going to go live. It was kind of like watching a roulette table, seeing the thing spinning, going, are you going to drop red, black, and am I going to win? Am I going to whammy? I'm like, what's going on? But just as a heads up, too, there have been some issues people have been experiencing with YouTube. They
Mm.
come into people's chats and they try typing, and they won't let them type anything to chat. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes to 30 minutes before they're allowed to. I know I've tried to comment on one of Jackie's little videos that she's done recently, and it wouldn't let me. So, and I know I'm not the only channel that this has happened to. So, if somebody can't put anything in chat right away, it's nothing that I'm not blocking or anything like that. It's just there's some bugs going around with that
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties. So I should just get one of those little
Excuse
videos that pop up and goes, and I have Tom's picture in it, and he'll be going like this, and I'll be saying, technical difficulties, please.
me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so welcome, Lottie B. And hello, Moira. And Tom. Oh, it's like I want to say something, but then someone's gonna be like, "Oh, she's picking on him." Well, no, he's picking on me, but not no excuses.
Well,
Uh,
Tom keeps us on our toes.
yes, and we remind him that he's a sassy pants, and he's a sassy pants. Coyote, was it you said earlier? Tom. Uh, they're talking about. So really quick, if anybody did not catch it, um, Bobby Fierro Taro had Maruta on today for an interview, and it was so finally nice putting a face, a voice, really to Maruta. I've seen her in chats for over 2 years, and they're talking about like chaos magic and also, parts of her upbringing. Just, I love Bobby's shows for in the
Mm,
cards. They are just so well done. It's just a beautiful dialogue between him, his guest, and the cards. And Tom, you mentioned you're a Coyote, or you once, or you still are Coyote, Chaote. That sounds very interesting to me. So I typed in earlier, oh, Tom's a sassy Coyote curmudgeon or something like that. So, but yeah, he knows I love him. He's my little bro. And he says, yeah, I have seen it happen to a few people on different shows. It's really weird. So, alrighty, everybody, thank you. Today we are still kind of following in the vein of, because it is still the time of the ancestors, and just because Samhain or All Hallows Eve or the Day of the Dead, is officially over, some of these practices still carry forward into November, and they really should be carried all year round. Our ancestors should really
yeah.
be kept in our hearts, and every now and then pulling out a picture or two and remembering them.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of things that I wanted to share um, with everybody. And Nancy's got some wonderful books that she wants to share. Nancy, would you prefer to go first and share your
Oh, you
books?
go ahead.
Oh,
You go
okay.
ahead. You start us off because what you've got's beautiful.
Okay. And just something really quick talking about ancestors. I may have shown this picture before. Or these few pictures before, but because we are talking about ancestors, I wanted to share again. Um, I've always wondered why, growing up, I loved music. I loved being on the stage, especially when I got to high school. I wanted to be a singer. I loved being in the musicals. I loved the dancing, the costumes. I just loved to perform. Originally, a lot of people didn't know, but when I was younger, I wanted to be a singer and a dancer, and that was going to be my thing. And I was learning a few instruments here and there growing up, but then, of course, life changes, puts you in a different direction. And when was this, about 8 years ago or so, I had spoken to a cousin who said, here, let me send you some pictures and just a little bit of info on your ancestors. And turned to find out, on my grandma's side, I had a family full of vaudeville performers. So
Awesome.
now I know where I got that performance bug, was from some of my ancestors. And this lady here in the middle was my great grandma Anna Dupuy. My great aunt Josephine is right there. My great uncle Joe. I'm not sure, they didn't put the name of the doggy. They put everybody's name, but they left the little puppy out. So here is great great grandma Anna Dupuy. So her mama. No, wait a minute.
Dupuy.
Wait,
Dupuy.
Dupuy. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Hold on
I
a
like
second.
that.
Actually, it's reversed here. So and I got here. Let me move my fan because Heather's having a hot flash. She had to turn her fan on. So this is great great grandma. Yes, Anna Dupuy, great aunt Laura, Uncle Joe, great aunt Josephine, and great grandma. And picture who took the picture, well, that wasn't in there, but was my great aunt Elizabeth. And when
Mm.
my grandma Johnson was kidnapped by her Jewish part of the family, because they didn't like that my grandma was Catholic and their son was Jewish, and they got together and had my grandma. Um, that was a no-no, and they kind of had my grandma kidnapped and hidden away. So it was the vaudeville family who had money and stuff, hired a professional investigator, and they eventually found my grandma. So that she could have me, my dad's, and then I could be here. So those pictures kind of disappeared a little bit. So maybe, oops, maybe they didn't want to be seen today. Those other pictures. So just wanted to share that and say hello to a few people who has been coming in. So Jen Bowles, hello, visionary gal. We like visionary gals here. We're
Oh,
all,
yes.
and Tom says, I have to bounce. Replay crew, that's all good. Thanks for popping in and
Um,
picking on me, Tom. Much appreciated. And thank you, Ange. There's Bobby's Live with Madame Maru. I've always known her as Maruta because I used to love saying
Yes.
Maruta. So that very interesting conversation. Thank you, Tanya. Please hit the like button. And Garnet, Nancy, hello, my darling. So Garnet is here. And I always love this. Heather blooming
Isn't
among the
that
wild
beautiful what he
mountain.
says? Yes.
I love that. So, all righty. And who knows, maybe if those pictures pop back up, I meant to share. But what I wanted to do next is I wanted to share. I think some of you know Spiritual Rain and Ange also in chat. They get together every other week and they do Beyond the Veil. But Spiritual Rain has been doing um, videos, pre-recorded videos on a book that she purchased called The Inner Tarot by Kate Van Horn. And when I saw that, I just felt like, oh, Heather, you should be spending any more money. You're trying to get rid of books. But I was called to this, and I'm so glad that I bought it. And it's very insightful in the tarot, especially from a place of healing and moving forward spiritually. And so I was reading while Shan was in his doctor's appointment today. I was starting on the Ten of Pentacles, and she shared like a little like a dialogue, a poem dialogue story that I thought was amazing, that gave me the tingles, and I wanted to share that with everybody. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of ancestry, of family, of your roots, of your legacy. And I was reading this, and even though they don't really talk about ancestors or family, it still shows how spirit can move through us even when we don't realize years later. And this was something I wanted to, one of the things I wanted to share. And so this is how it goes. This is Kate. This is an actual story. This is Kate telling this. At 16 years old, I got a bird tattooed on my left wrist, chosen rashly and completely uninspired. What's the meaning? Others would ask me for years following. Detached from my body at that time, I thought nothing of the choice, ignorant to the idea that history was writing itself for me, and my body was just the vehicle to land me in the right place at the right time. There is no meaning, I'd answer. At 29, I watched the man I love identify birds in his parents' backyard up north. Look, another rare one. We're in lucky today, he assured me. Not long after, I took myself into meditation. I saw her and saw him. I saw all of us. I asked Spirit for her name. Ava, she replied. A name I'd never thought of or considered, as random as the bird etched into my supple skin. I Googled the origin later for the name Ava. Bird like, lively. At 31, I sit and write this book from our deck, a space where we live and love as two. For now, a ring now circles my left ring finger, adorning and accessorizing the same arm as my tattooed wrist. And a bird that frequents me here perches itself on the ledge, just feet from me. Lucky we are, yes. Lucky we've landed in the safety of each other as we commit to a future with generations to come. Lucky that it all means something now. So even back then, she didn't know what she was through pain, trauma. She didn't know what that was. And
What
Spirit
about
was saying, and so the birds, the man of her dreams, her husband loved birds. Her daughter, the name Ava, bird like. I mean, I'm still getting goosebumps from
that's
reading this.
beautiful.
So I wanted to share that um, with everybody. And let me set this aside because, like I told Nancy, I got stuff all over the place. And
Which deck is that from? The Ten of Pentacles that you
oh no, that was from the book. That
oh, the
Inner
healing.
Tarot.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she uses the traditional
Oh,
RWS.
okay.
Excuse me, for the illustrations. But that was the story she wanted to share. because it's a
Beautiful.
book about the trauma of her body growing up, things that, that we do to ourselves, and how the tarot can
Hmm.
be a spiritual path to help us, release trauma and stand in our power, and,
Yes.
you know, embrace, who we are, and our scars, our lessons, our traumas are all who makes, what makes who we are, or makes a significant part of, who we are. Um, and before I go to my Rebecca Campbell book, this was something that I was going through. I was talking to Jackie's Crystal Moon earlier, and we were sharing some things about health and stuff that's going on in our personal lives. And as I was talking to her, I was going through some of my pendants and things, and I came across a pendant that should still be available. There is a store in Buffalo on Hurdle Avenue called Her Sanctuary, and her name is leaving me here, so I apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. But the owner, she lost her, and both her and her sister got breast cancer.
Mm.
Her name is Sue Morelli, and so Sue, um, she lost her sister. She survived, but she lost her sister. So she wanted to create a place in honor of her sister, and so she sells goods from that are handmade from women in their businesses from around the country.
Mm.
These are all individual, private, and she wanted something designed and created for her store from for her that she created. And so the pendants are on sterling silver. Mine's a little tarnished now, but this is the message on it that I want to share too. Strong women, may we know them, may we raise them,
Mm.
may we be them.
Mhm. Oh, it's
And you can
beautiful.
get it in sterling silver, and it's available at her store, her sanctuary. I haven't seen her in a while because I just can't get to Buffalo like I used to, and I know that since COVID, she had to kind of switch things around and close one part of the store, reopen it in a certain way. But I would think that that would still be available, and to me, it's a beautiful gift to give somebody, a
Oh,
woman that's in
yes.
your life, and so. Yeah, I wanted to share that because it just came up when I was talking to Jackie, and that was the message I wanted to give her. And I said, I think that's a message I should be able to share with everybody, today. And yes, Garnet, the secret language of birds. And hello, MG. Good to see you. Hello, Judith. And I have one last, and then I will give it to Nancy. I was looking at the bottom of my Rose Oracle. Somebody just told me to look at the bottom of the deck. And this was at the bottom of the deck, the grandmothers.
Mm.
Remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. And reading Trust the Weavings is making me think of the bird tattoo. Trust in that. Trust that that little tattoo that you weren't quite sure why you got that, but you did, and how it has just woven its meaning, through her life. So that's a beautiful reflection of that well. And it says here, the rose was here long before you and me, and long before humanity itself. She holds within her the rememberings of civilizations past, roots that reach back for millions of years and hold the codes of creation. They carry with them the songs of the ancient grandmothers of the earth. Can you hear their song? Um, when this card appears in a spread, it's an invitation to reach all the way back, to go forward, to reach your roots deep, to soar high. The ancient grandmothers are calling for you to remember the wisdom of your ancestry, long before colonialism severed so much that's sacred, before the rise and fall of empires and entire civilizations, all the way back to the origins of humanity. They're calling you to play your part in this time of healing, to heal and integrate what you've inherited in your ancestral line. It's not personal. These are changing, healing times that we came here for, to reconnect and reach all the way back to the original mother, and to see our role as the ancestors of those who are yet to come, to remain grounded and rooted in your life so that no matter how rocky things get, you always know that you are home. And her rose transmissions are: I reach my roots all the way back to go forward. I call upon the sacred strength and support of my ancestors who did not forget to be with me now. I acknowledge the difficulties and what's coming up to be healed, and I do so for all who are yet to come. So mote it be. And that's what I want to share. And it's just amazing. It just told me to look at the bottom of the deck, and I pull that out, and that has, it just rings so true, especially with elections coming up tomorrow, and there's so much fighting and anger. I mean, we were out today, and the energy was just so palpable. You could feel it, you know, everywhere we went. And so this is a time for us to start moving forward, reaching into deep into our roots, asking our ancestors for the strength to move forward and to do better, to do different. And I'll end that there, and I'll give it over to Miss Nancy. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh yeah, I love that, Heather. Yeah, the energy is weird. I mean, uh, I I had something from my book of shadows that I thought I would read. But I wanted to show you all two books that I have that I'm going to be working with this winter. And the first one is Ancestral Tarot: Uncover Your Past and Chart Your Future by Nancy Hendrickson. And it is: the better we know our ancestors, the better we know ourselves. And the companion book with that is Connect with the Wisdom of the Ancestors Through Tarot, Oracles, and Magic. And it's the Ancestral Grimoire. And it's also by Nancy Hendrickson. And so I got both of these on Amazon. If anybody is interested in, delving deeper into your ancestry, you can do it through oracle cards and tarot cards. And I had a few things in my book of shadows that I wanted to read. It's been a while since I've read this, but it kind of explained. I got this at sacredancestry.com. And it says, your ancestors ask, when will she remember? When will she turn to us and our wisdom? When will she give me permission to step in and guide her to these ancient ways that we live in her own blood? The traditions and spirituality of your own lineage and your own ancestors is one of your most powerful resources for healing and profound spiritual connection. It is something that no other lineage can give you quite like your own. No matter where your ancestors are from, there is a deep wisdom, spirituality, and earth-honoring ways somewhere in your lineage. You have the ability to remember. It lives in your bones. To do your part in healing the wound of separation and cultural disconnection, connect to the profound ancient wisdom, magic rites, traditions, stories, and teachings and spirituality of your own lineage. And it goes on. It says, your body remembers the stories of your ancestors. When you listen to your body, ensure you hear their wisdom guiding you, not their wounds. And I am bound to them, though I cannot look into their eyes or hear their voices. I honor their history. I cherish their lives. I will tell their stories. I will remember them. And to me, ancestors and working with ancestors is a very real and profound thing. You have to be open to it. You have to want to do it. And it's not well, it can be easy if you open yourself to it. And on my channel, I had a little, I did a video about Samhain, and I did a short video of showing what I did, it was dark, and what I did was I lit a candle, and the veil is still thin,
Mm-hmm.
and if you commit to a ritual and you have a candle and you go outside, it's nice to be outside. Um, you don't have to be, but if you light a candle to light the ways for your ancestors to come to you, and be open to it. Their spirits are all around you, and welcome them. You might be drinking a cup of coffee. Um, you might be having, like a Danish or cookies or something. Make a little cup of coffee for them and just set it there. It's like an offering. And just open yourself to imagining that they are there with you and feel it. It's very important that it's real. It's not something that, like stories. Your ancestors are real, and they're all around us, and they care deeply about us. And I'm very committed to connecting with my ancestors, and I can feel them all around me. And some of them I know who they are, and others are so ancient that I just honor them and I love them. And that's what I think is so important for us to do. Maybe not everybody is called to do this, but it's kind of like your spirit guides and your angels. They're there. They're always with you, but you have to be the one to be open to connect with them. And that's what we're kind of talking about today, I think.
That's beautiful. And Garnet had something to share. I meet Nancy with the ancestors in an astral, spiritual, ethereal state above a stone circle, roll right with the backing of the ancestors. Nancy spoke to me. It was real.
Oh, that's
Thank you for
beautiful, Garnet.
sharing. Let's see. Yes, that's my love your hug bug. Yep, that's the other one. She just wants food. That's why she was here, but that was okay. And thank you, Ange, for putting Nancy's link.
Oh, that's
And also,
thank you.
Garnet says, "Oh, Nancy, they love it when you bring them offerings." And Nancy has the ancestors' love around her. Wow, very beautiful. And everybody knows my grandma in her youth. I have a picture of her that she always looks over my shoulder. So I love having her there. And something that it didn't occur to me, I have to look it up. But when I was 25, I think it was 25, 26, I was a security guard at the Albright Next Art Gallery. And we had to watch these video screens. And one day when it was slow, there was really nobody in there. We would keep sheets like, the little sheets with their, oh, what do you call that when you have the paper, the stationery with the scratch pads with the name
Yeah.
of the business on and everything. And so we would always keep that there in case we had to write notes or leave messages for another
Mm-hmm.
guard. And I was writing the one day, it was quiet, and for some reason my handwriting started to change, and I was asking, and this is still me, I was still new to all this, and she told me her name was Ava, and I was 25, 26. And then after that, there was a photography exhibit down in the lower part of the gallery. It goes underground, linked to another building. And on the tombstone was the name of Ava. Not the way she spelled it in the book. And this book here was AVA. But I'm looking at going, okay, this must be something. But I really didn't know what spirit guides and all this
Mm-hmm.
really meant. And now that I do, and just reading that girl's story, I have to look to see with birds because she was from somewhere in my Irish Celtic family, and I've been reconnecting with birds, especially the crow and the ravens with the Morgan. And
Mm.
so I'm wondering if there's a connection. So you just never know, like in the story, where something somewhere leads you after all these years into your
Mm-hmm.
ancestral circle. And I love that
Mm-hmm.
your writing inspired Garnet to go into a meditation and brought that energy to look stand above the stone circles, and it shows how we are all still spiritually a family. We're all connected. We're all
Mhm.
related on a spiritual level. So um, that's beautiful. And he said, Nancy is the spokeswoman for the ancestors. She has full approval. Oh, you're
Well,
sweetheart.
you were talking about automatic writing,
Hmm.
and I don't know if any of if you have tried that, but what you do is you meditate, and you have a journal or just a piece of paper and a pen, and you don't think about it. You start writing, and you just write, and you will be amazed at what you come up with when you read it, because it's it's not really from you, it's from them. So, and this, I just was looking at my cards, and this is kind of talking about the energy of the ancestors and what Garnet was talking about. I love this. um, there's so much power and clarity, and I don't know, there's just something about being outside. And I was watching a live today with uh, Gerald at Tarot Stash and Betsy Palmer and Purple Elephant Deb, and they were talking about spirit guides. And it was just very, very interesting, and about how the energy from our spirit guides are very much like our ancestors, and some of our ancestors can be our spirit guides, and some of them
Hmm.
have been with us from the very, very beginning. And now, see, I believe in reincarnation. Not every I was raised in the Christian faith, and but I believe in reincarnation. And I believe that we have a soul contract. And I also believe that there's a lot that happened before um, I came into this life. One of the things was the soul contract. I was sent here for a reason, but there are others that are attached to that contract. Some of my spirit guides, some of my ancestors, my guardian angel. This was decided before I came here, and they have always been with me. Now, there are others that come in when you need them. I mean, you can call on any archangel that you want, but you have your team, a core team that has always been with you,
Hmm.
and they're not judgmental. They absolutely love you, and they love for you to talk to them, to acknowledge their presence, because they're real. And, you know, um, I believe this with all my heart and soul. Now, maybe some of you are like, woo, woo, but
Woo.
I do believe this, and I feel their presence. And it's a very special thing. And I love doing ancestral readings and connecting my ancestors, connecting with your ancestors, to bring forth a message. It when it happens, it's very, very special. It doesn't always connect, because you have to be in the right place, and I have to be in the right right space with my ancestors, and be open to spirit. But that's what I believe.
That's beautiful. And something I want to connect to with talking about Ava with the writing is that picture that I showed of every with the ants from my dad's side, because I had access briefly free for to ancestry.com. I got to write down names of from both sides of my family, and I came across two Avas. One on my, I think it were no, but they both on my mom's side. And
Mhm.
I got my pendulum out, so I'm like, okay, what? And I was like, one of these Avas must be this Ava. and I asked my pendulum, and it gave me Ava Cassidy, which was, on my mom's side, Irish side of the family. And unfortunately, at least from that last time, the only, information that I had, it ended with her. There was just a picture with one name, Ava. There was in her married name. They didn't have any information provided of what her maiden name was or where she was from. It showed that she had married a great grandfather of my name. I believe it was Patrick. But when I told someone before, yeah, I have a great grandma, Ava Cassidy. They're like, oh, like the folk singer. So I thought that was kind of sweet. So yeah, you never know where our paths take you, especially when you start to meditate and you ground and you get rooted and start connecting with your ancestors. And um, Flowing has joined us. She says, hi, ladies, and everyone in chat. Love hearing about the ancestors. Without them, we would not be here. Nope, we would not be. She's watching on her big
Ain't that
screen.
the truth, Flowing?
Yeah. And Audra has joined us. Hello, Audra. And Garnet sharing a little bit more about how you brought him into the ring, the stone ring. And so very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And um, and he said the vision was clear and meaningful. So that's beautiful. It shows how we all kind of come around in these circles. We've probably all known each other in passing at some point in our many lifetimes. And
Mm-hmm. That's right.
so, one of the things that I used to think about when it came to reincarnation was the fact that are we, um, some of our family, I know some people have proposed, are we possibly some of our ancestors reincarnated? And that's something that I thought was very interesting and I thought would be maybe a topic for a different show
That's funny that
channel.
you mentioned that because today, I was thinking about it and it just popped into my head. Am I one of my own ancestors? I mean, I don't know.
Hmm. And maybe that might be where the
That
memories
just
come
came
from.
that just came
Mhm.
that came out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, you know.
So I think that would be an interesting conversation and
Yes.
something to pull cards
Yes.
on for a show. So if anybody would be interested in having that conversation, I'll see who would like to join me, and we can definitely have that. Um, so we are at 5:38, and I do have to be done by 6:30 this evening. I also have a live at 8 o'clock with Bobby Farrow
Ah,
Tarot. So looking forward to hanging out with Bobby and
yes.
chit
He's
chatting.
good
And
company.
he is, and pulling some cards. So the question, if anybody would like cards, is this is the question for today: is how can I best connect with my ancestors? So if anybody would like for Nancy and I to pull cards on this question, please go ahead and do the whole me, capital me's. I usually remember to type me, in all caps um, into the little banner there. Um, but everybody knows the drill. Just type in me if you would like. And I know I have lots of decks. It was just like a whole bunch of them. I got a new one for Samhain from my sweetheart. He got me the Ghost Tarot that I've been wanting for a while, and I was able to use that Friday night with Ange and Allison when we looked at the haunted apothecary museum in Canada. So that was fun. And hello, Janet Lee. Um,
Heather, I just was thinking, about an ancestral card for you, and this is very interesting what popped out for you.
oh,
Just
okay.
I don't have to say a word.
Oh, okay, Ava, great
Is that
grandma.
confirmation or what?
Yep, look at the crows and the ravens, the Irish, the Celtic. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People, and Celtic doesn't always mean just the Irish. The Celtic, covered.
Yes.
They're finding Celtic back into Sweden and into Germanic areas all over. Starting. They're even thinking maybe in the Mongolian area. So the Celtic was very, very widespread. And Audra shared. I've seen specials about reincarnation and some that were grandparents and great grandparents reincarnated in a new child of the family. Oh, that's true,
Mhm.
Audra. I did
Yes.
see, um, and this is going to be very interesting. This was a TV show that looked into unsolved crimes. Um, a uncle, somebody in their family. Okay, so a brother, two. There were two brothers in this family. One brother was, was murdered, and they never were able to get the evidence against who they thought it was. Um, so not long after his brother passed, somebody in the family became pregnant with a boy,
Mm.
and as the boy got older, turned out, and I was like, well, this back in the day, this was very, progressive for them to put this on a TV show like that, public TV show. But it turned out that they believe it was the brother reincarnated, and he's like, and he became the brother, became he became um it was his uncle. So the brother, was no longer a brother, but he became an uncle now within this new child. And they were able to share, and the boy would just start talking about what he had seen, what had happened, and they were able to gather this information, and you know, they were able to help put,
Mhm.
you know, his murderer away.
Mhm.
And so he came back as, his brother's nephew. I couldn't
Mhm.
remember. I couldn't think of the word, but nephew.
Mhm.
So
That's
it's very
perfect.
fascinating. Hmm?
I said, Emily, I said, that's
Oh,
perfect. She put hashtag me. So that's,
yes. So did Janet and Emily. Emily, just know that this is a themed question on the Celtic Ray. That's awesome. Garna, of course, I figured you would. So Emily, we're doing how can I best connect with my ancestors? No personal questions for this show, but this is what we're going to be pulling cards on. And hello, Karen, Care Bear Bottled of Cards. She is here. I believe it might be Audra. It was one of those psychic, when they show some, they don't have shows like that really anymore, but for a while they had a show where they would bring psychics in to help solve murders. And I believe that might have been one of the episodes where they talked about how this nephew helped his uncle find, his killer from um, she says, all good, awesome.
oh, wow.
And all righty, well, we have two starred. So let's start with Janet Lee.
Okay.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us and those watching back on replay. Ooh, trying to figure out which deck to use. That's the hard part. Okay. Okay, Karen, as soon as I'm done shuffling here this one deck, I will star you. Okay.
I have a few cards for Janet. Or do you want to go first, Heather?
No, I'm
Or
still shuffling.
however? Okay. What I wanted to do is this is the Hermit from the Bonestone and Earth Flesh, and I want to preface all of my ancestry readings with this particular card, and because in order to connect, you have to have a certain mindset that you want to do this, and that you go within and you meditate, you plan it. It's like lighting the candle and welcoming them in. And there's a bird that's over her. This to me shows wisdom. She's in this ancient cave, and to me, this looks like an ancestor. You know, the Hermit card. But the card that I got for you, Janet, is this card, and I see this as you connecting with your ancestors. You are meditating. You are welcoming them in. You are open to their messages. Um, you might have some pictures on the wall, or pictures like Heather had of ancestors, and when a loved one dies, they become an ancestor, and when we pass on, we will be ancestors for our families. And as time goes on and on and on, eventually we will be an ancient ancestor. Um, so I see you connecting with your ancestors. And when I see these deer, they're almost like ghost deer. They're like spirits from long ago that are surrounding you. And you want to acknowledge them. You when you welcome them in, you want to thank them for coming. And as you talk to them, just share your heart, what's on your mind, and they will be so thrilled that you are acknowledging them and you are wanting to work with them. And that's what I have for you, Janet Lee.
Very nice. And Janet Lee says, beautiful. Yes, I've been moving them into my room, the photos.
Mm.
Nice. So I have quite a few, but they're just quick messages. So from the Ghost Tarot, I have the Two of Swords. Whoops. I got to put me over here. I got the Two of Swords. But before I pull this, Janet, I had pulled from the Stone Circle, and I got Hidden Treasure. And look at both of these cards. Her arms are open. They're open wide. They're open to receiving. And here on the Hidden Treasures, it's you're on the right track. So you just said that you've been moving pictures into your rooms, connecting with your ancestors. You're on the right track. A gift revealed. So to them, this is a gift from you. But at the same time, look at that energy coming down. The more I think we connect and learn how to open ourselves with our ancestors, that helps us to develop our natural gift. Same here, like with the Two of Swords, it's balancing, it's clarity, it's communication. Her eyes are closed, but she's also coming out of the water, and she's coming out of the water too. So those two cards go beautifully together. I also have Wunjo, which is good news. So being open to your ancestors is sharing when you have good news, of being happy, being excited like you were as a child, connecting to them on that inner child level. But I feel like this is also them coming to you, from the hidden treasures, when you start exploring and opening your gifts that they are showing you. This is good news. This is where you're able to communicate. The information comes through. And from the passion heart, use your voice to wake up others. So start sharing the messages of what you've learned about your ancestors, how you connect with your ancestors. And I love that she's painting. This might be a way of expressing and using your voice, by writing, by doing paintings where you might ask them to come in and maybe do a painting portrait, spirit portraits, maybe energy portraits, but acknowledging them that way. And from the rest of the Ghost Tarot, I did get the Eight of Cups. So walking away, leaving behind, not them, but leaving certain things in the past, that no longer serves you, and type it into that beautiful full moon energy. I have the Three of Wands, which is that big, beautiful ghost ship coming in. They are coming to you. You are drawing them to you. When you set the plans and you stay with the routine of pulling in your pictures, talking to them, communicating, writing, however it is you're creatively and spiritually connecting with them, that brings them in closer and closer to you. And the overlying energy, Ten of Pentacles, there's the family card about ancestry, of legacy, of tradition. They're around you, they're surrounding you, they're guiding you. And so that's what I have. And as you develop your gift, you'll probably be able to start maybe even hearing whispers, actual physical auto whispers, or the ones like within your head where certain messages that come through. And if you start to get those, that might be good to do the writing to help get those messages down. So that's what I have for you, Janet.
Oh, I love the comments that Janet Lee made. I love the feedback. It's wonderful. Thank you, Janet Lee.
Hun jewelry from them on my gratitude tree. Love it, Nancy. Beautiful. The
Yeah.
photographs. And Ange says she's missing some of them. That's okay, Ange. Food is important. Family's important. Eating is important. We don't want to get hangry over there. And Janet, thank you. I'm creating divine masculine and feminine in my room. There's the creativity. There you go. That's beautiful. Hello, Sylvia. Good to see you, my dear. And I felt a giddy feeling when you both started like a child, excited. Yeah, so that's the good news. Tapping into that feeling and just knowing that, they have messages for you, good messages, and remember how that made you feel, on those days, tapping into that inner child and them wanting to say when you do that more, because when we were younger, we didn't have all these things put into our head by society saying that, you know, invisible friends aren't real, fairies aren't real, spirits aren't, we get so shut down to our magical ability and to be able to see our gifts that we shut down everything. And so that helps us open up again and open up our ability. So
Mm.
beautiful messages. And yes, I love that stone, bone, and flesh. Karen, aren't those cards gorgeous? I
Mm.
have to get that deck myself.
One thing I did want to mention to everybody that is going to be doing ancestral work, when I saw this card, it brought it back to mind. Whenever you are working with spirits, be sure that you cast a circle of protection
Protect them.
around you.
Mm-hmm.
Call in your angels and your guides. Call in Archangel Michael for protection. Ask that you be covered with a semi-permeable bubble where the messages can get in, but nothing of low energy or negativity can be around you as you communicate with your ancestors, your spirit guides, and your angels. It's very, very important.
Yes, thank you.
So
It is. Let me just switch back over here. And Morg in the Void has joined us. Hello, hello, Morg. What a fascinating name. It's
mhm,
just like for me when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of morbid, but at the
mhm.
same time, it's fun. I like it. Morgan, yeah,
Yeah.
I love how creative people are in this community, and I believe Morg, you're a she. Correct me if, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I had a dream about one of my ancestors the other night. I've really been wanting to connect with him. His name was James, but everyone called him Foggy.
Oh, I love that.
That is so cute. Um,
And Sylvia also has joined us. So hey,
yes, I mentioned Sylvia.
oh, did you? Okay.
Yes, Sylvia. Everybody, Sylvia has, this is her channel, Colorful Foresight. So
Mm-hmm.
be sure to share, say hi, do all the YouTubey things. And yes, ma'am, I am a she. Okay, just wanted to make sure because I remember the previous picture. There it was a female face, so I wasn't, I was pretty sure that I was correct. So, alrighty, and our next person is going to be Emily.
Okay.
All righty. Ooh, so interesting how you get drawn to different decks. Your eye just go and you
Mm-hmm.
grab for a deck without even thinking. So Emily, and I'm just going to go ahead and put Nancy on the big because she's always. Well, you're connected. You already pull cards ahead of time because you feel
Emily, the
connected to do
cards
that.
that I pulled some, I think, very beautiful cards for you. This is you. I see you outside in meditation and connecting with your ancestors. Um, just maybe sitting on the ground. Barefoot would be wonderful, but you don't have to do that. But I love this image because um, I think your ancestors would love that. Um, and I see you connecting with your ancestors here is this beautiful card. And you're hugging each other. And I love that. Because when you think about it, they've waited a long time for us to connect with them, haven't they? They've waited for so long. And the other card that I pulled for you is I see this as one of your ancestors. And in working with your ancestors, you will be healing part of their grief. Their lives were very, very hard. And they were wise. Look at that owl on her shoulder. And, in the snow, and it was so cold. And they lived their life, and they did what they had to do to survive, and there was a lot of pain associated with that. So there's a lot of healing that has to take place, and some of that healing comes from connecting with them and showing that we care and we honor them. And then also that's where shadow work comes in. You might be called, you might think of something as you're meditating, and you need to heal that within yourself. And when you heal it within yourself, you're healing that ancestral pain. And that's what's so important. And that's why it's called work, because it's not easy, but it is very, very rewarding. And I love that for you.
All righty. Thank you. And just really quick, Lexi has joined us. And can we all send Lexi some love, please? Today's the anniversary of her mother's death.
Oh,
I feel her everywhere. Lexi,
uh,
let us know if you would like for us to pull some cards, but only with your permission if you like. So let me just go ahead on star and see if. Oh, shoot. I got here late. Hello, CB. Yeah, we probably. I have to watch the time this evening, everybody. So I'm just looking to see if Emily had any other. She says it's a bit cold here, so I'm not. I'm not sure. Um, So, Lexi, what I have for you, it's so interesting. Nancy said, sit down, get rooted. My first card out was education, and she is. She's sitting down, and she has this stork or crane. Well, actually, heron or crane, and they're about perseverance, persevering through life. And so, with the education, the books, and look how the fairy is coming out of the book. So I don't know. So for me, I'm thinking maybe looking through family trees, maybe looking through photo books of your ancestors to see which ones connect with you. Education, reading about them, learning about them as much as possible, and even maybe learning how to do ancestral work. I'm learning because I know there are classes now because ancestral trees are so popular. There are classes popping up even in those smaller schools. I can't think of the name of them right now. Um, but we're like your local community schools, they sometimes offer lessons on how to search for ancestry, but it's all about educating yourself um, on how to communicate with them to move forward. I keep just feeling ancestry, studying ancestry, pick up the books, pick up the photographs, start looking there. Next card I have is the magical shapeshifter, and the magical shapeshifter is saying that perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you that you can be. And so, but now when we're talking about soulmate, I'm not talking about this, twin flame thing. Soulmates for me are people who come into your life that have a deep soul connection with you. And this could very well be feeling like it's in spirit because the title for the card underneath magical shapeshifter, or at least the keyword phrase for it, is spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. And Nancy was saying that in the beginning, how she feels that we have a contract when we come in, that everybody on the astral plane, the spiritual plane, works with us in connecting with what we need to accomplish and what we need to do here on this lifetime. So the magical map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. And then I asked for a clarifier, and boom, once you know it, I got transformation. So there's the better part of yourself. Connecting, it will help you transform. It'll find out more things about yourself, things like health or spiritual practice or cultural, unknown or hidden talents. Um, and also, I asked for another card next, and it was awakening. So when you do that, you will be awakening. You will be start connecting them with more. You will be expanding more. And I think this is a great message, really, for for everybody on the collective. And when you look at this, it also looks like a butterfly shape. And that's also, the butterflies are about spiritual transformation, rebirth, changing. And the last card is the compass. So let them guide you. Let your inner knowing guide you. Ask your ancestors to guide you to what books, what classes, what people, what websites where you can connect with them and learn more about them. And that's what I have for you, Lexi. I mean, not Lexi, I'm sorry. Um, Emily. My apologies. And hey, girl, hey. I think that's an egret.
Mm.
I don't know. The egrets that we have around here are black, but I don't know, maybe. Um, but they remind me of the herons and the cranes and the egrets that we have around here during the summer. So absolutely love that. So hey, girl, hey, thanks for popping in.
Um,
Yes.
I pulled some cards for Lexi. Did you
Okay.
want to do Lexi, or do you want me to just
Yeah,
set
I would
her
like to do
aside?
Lexi next. Yes, I would
Okay.
like to make sure we can get a message for Lexi.
Um, it's interesting. I was just looking at the chat, Lexi. The cards that I drew. Um, the first card that I got for you is communication, and your mother is now an ancestor, but she's more than an ancestor. She's your mommy, and she always will be, and she loves you very much. And I know that you feel her presence. Um, there are a lot of ancestors here in the smoke. And, when your mother passed, I don't know how long it's been, but she was welcomed. She was welcomed by all her ancestors and your ancestors. And she is now with them, and they're watching over you. Um, I pulled this card, and to me, this shows how much she loves you. She is always with you. She's always very, very close. But the card that you had said something in the chat. This card, when I do ancestry readings, this is a card of soulmate. And I do believe that your mother is your soulmate. And the way these cards came out to me just shows what an incredibly close bond that you had during her life, but also, death doesn't stop that, because she, I mean, I mean, we call it death. She's just away. She's gone home, and one day, it happens to all of us, and we are reunited, and then we decide whether we want to do this again or if we want to just stay up there. But I love this reading for you because it should give you, I would think, great comfort. And I just think it's beautiful. It's just really touched me. I've gotten shivers, and I just love that for you, Lexi.
Righty, I'm still shuffling here. Hmm. Okay. Um, Interesting. So I'm trying to see where I should start first. So Lexi, the first card I pulled from you for you is Whispers of Mother Earth. I pulled from the Rose
Mm.
Oracle, and it's creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So for me, I don't know if she comes through. I don't know if you do any type of art, any type of writing, even something creative like knitting or crocheting, um, any form of creativity or craft that your mom did or you did together, that you feel brings you both together, how to connect with her in those moments, maybe where you feel you miss her the most. Maybe when you get that inspiration to try something new or to do something that could be very well her coming through. And just really quick, you were talking about soulmate. I got the sacred union, beloved within inner and outer relationships. So yes, there is that beautiful connection between the both of you. I did get the return, and it says here a new story. You decide. It's about alignment and coming together. So right now, she's. I don't know if this means that she's going to be returning to Earth. That just popped into my head. A new story. Um, or this could be you, her telling you you need to create a new story for yourself. You need to make a decision. You need to get aligned. Things are coming together. So whatever you're working on, this very well may be this for you. But for me, for some reason, the return, it just almost feels like she may be returning to Earth in another form. But that doesn't mean that we can't still connect with them and who we knew them as in the spirit realm.
Mhm.
I also got the mystic rose, humility, humanity, grace, and I think I understand where this goes to for the next cards. I also got ancestral messages. She's with your grandmothers and her grandmother and her mother's grandmothers, and they're coming through. So really, wherever you are, that's creative, channeling these messages from her through art, through writing, through whatever forms of creativity and inspiration that you can. And they say, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I think you might be going through something a little bit right now. Because I picked going into the unknown. So it feels like being without her, you still feel like moving forward. You're going into areas of your life that is the unknown. She's blindfolded, her hands are out. Um, she's almost kind of got like a key and in one hand, um, and hearts and things in the other hand, and just kind of try to feel her way blindfolded, not sure which way to move through. And I did pull the conflict card. So I don't know if this might be a conflict that you might be having with a sibling or a family member, or this could be an internal conflict within yourself, something personal. But again, the ancestral messages ask for help. They are behind you. They're this beautiful stone. You go up to it, you touch it. It's like you're connecting with your mother and her mother's mothers and your ancestors from that line. Um, you belong. You are connected to them. Turn to them when you need that extra help. And when you do, I did get the joy card. So whatever this conflict is, it's like sucking the joy from you. But when you remember to laugh, tap into your joy and your creativity, your passion, let things open up, and allow those messages from her to come through and not to be afraid to ask for help. And that's what I have for you. I know those were a lot of cards, but it was like, you got to pull these from here, you got to pull from there. And I'm like, oh my God, these are big cards. So, all righty. Let me back up a little bit because I did see we had some Ever Inferno came in. Hello, hello. So let me see. Yes. Okay, talking about the egrets in Florida. CB, lovely reading. Lexi is getting yes, thank you. No, she's everywhere this time of year looking after me. It's been 6 years. Okay. Um, oh, thank you, Inferno. You're very sweet. Um, Tom introduced me to you, Heather, and I love popping in to say hello. Oh, you're welcome. Um, you're right. Okay, you chat. There you go. And you did not hijack this live stream, my dear.
No,
Don't
no.
even think twice about it. It was meant, you were meant to come in here for the messages. So, again, I don't know what this conflict is. This could be just something that you're still, because that I learned last year while taking, so I take groups when I can through my health services, is loss and grief, this grief and loss. And there's supposed to be these steps that we're all supposed to follow.
Mhm.
But you know what? We can jump from all different steps, all different stages at different points in our life. So it doesn't matter where we are in life. You know, sometimes we still feel conflicted with the loss. We're okay with it, and then something comes up, and then we're conflicted again, or we go into a lot of pain, sadness, depression. But just knowing that they're there, you just have to, you know, you ask. I mean, I know I'm going through stuff right now, and I know by calling on my dad, my grandma, my ancestors, they are helping me through this. So, low jack. No, you did not low jack. Verna was a low jack. Oh my goodness. But there's the laughter, there's the joy. Mom's bringing that in. So, you know, when you ever have, it's definitely an internal conflict. So, okay, just, you know, whatever you're working through, and you feel like you're blinded, you can't see where you're going, just trust in your ability to communicate with mom, your connection to your ancestors. They're there for you. All you have to do is ask, my dear. um so wow, Chad's jumping now. um Thank you, Janet. Okay, talking about a new oracle that Karen just got. Alrighty, so
Well,
we,
Patrick Valenza is just so generous with his extras that he puts in with his decks.
I'll have to check that out and see what that's all about. The name's familiar, but there's so many deck creators out there and so
Like
many fellow
Deanne
readers.
Moon and Mildred Kay.
Oh, he made
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. All righty. So up next is Karen. And are you all ready, Nancy? Because I know you get pulled to pull cards beforehand.
Well, I'm working on it.
Okay. I know I'm looking at my cards going, ooh, Karen. Which deck? And she says, yes, it feels like opening a care package. Oh, get it, a
Okay.
Care Bear package.
Um, okay, Karen.
Okay.
The first card that I got for you is the card of awareness. And I think that you are already communicating with your ancestors. You're aware of them. You're aware of their presence. You're going down the path. There are a lot of ancient stones. Um, there's a freedom. There's a freedom in when you connect with your ancestors. There's a certain freedom that comes from communing with them. And you've got the moon in both of these pictures. And the other two cards that I drew for you, Karen, I feel like that you are doing a lot of this work because both of these cards show you sleeping. I think that you are getting a lot of ancestral communication in your dreams. I don't know if you remember them or not, but you might, before you go to bed at night, um, have a ritual uh, uh, with your ancestors before you go and call them in and ask them to meet you in your dreams, um, and ask that you can remember your dreams, that to remember what you need to remember. The rest that maybe isn't necessary for you to remember, you will hold within your heart and soul. And that's what I have for you, Karen.
Okay. Karen. So, Karen, how can I best connect with my ancestors? You already are with your voice. When you share their memories, when you do readings for people. I don't know if you had any, I don't know where that word just came from, soothsayers. I don't know if they still use that term these days. If you had any soothsayers back in the day, people who were connected, it's like when you use your voice for your poetry, um, your channel and your cards, you're channeling messages, you're channeling messages from spirit, and to start trusting in that voice. So if you want to communicate with them, to connect with them, pull cards, especially granddad. It seems like granddad really wants to talk to you. So whenever you use your voice, communicate to them that you want to connect. Ask them, how can I better see you? Give me signs. Um, Let me know when, if I smell a certain smell, if I hear a certain see, or any of my certain cards resonate. Like with Angie's card. She's got a card from the Beetlejuice deck that reminds you of Grandpa. So for readings like that, you can find decks. Ask Grandpa, when I need to talk to you, Granddad, or whoever else in spirit you would like to. Ask one of them, or be guided to which cards in certain decks, so that you can shuffle and find where that card is, and give them and find the cards around it and get a message. But also, they're saying don't be afraid to share your voice. Right now, with life, stay focused on what you are doing. I know that you're very focused on um, your home life right now, your future, your children's future, your channel, your classes, and everything that you're building and developing, including your reading abilities, your psychic abilities. Some of the insights that you give during our shows with certain readings are incredible insights. Start writing
Mhm.
that down. I
Mhm.
also did get the fate card, and I was a little confused about fate, but just look how it's like the tech. It's like connecting with the cosmos. You are the cosmos. Everything is all interconnected. Everything that happens um, is, I don't know, is not everything is fated. There are some things that are fated to happen, but we do have elements of free will as well. But just know that the fate, your future is all in your hands. You have that connectedness to and the energy of the universe to to tap into. I also get gentle force, being consistent, persistence, and patience. They are there with you, especially with her tapping into the waters. And there's supposed to be like a face there, but you can't see it because the waters are there. So again, using your intuitions kind of feels almost like a high priestess card. You know, tap into that knowledge that's already there. It's in your hands. Trust in that. Maybe when spirit is around you or certain family members, you will feel that gentle force. It'll be a soft energy, like a little nudge. And the final message for you, my dear, and I know this will probably hit home and know what this is about. It's let it rain. Allow what is inevitability and trust. Um, so laying down, letting that lightning, letting those storms move through you, crying, releasing, experiencing all those emotions, and just know that your ancestors are surround you, supporting you, holding space for you as you're going through this. So maybe next time it rains outside, well, I was going to say you just had that hurricane, so I don't think you really need much more rain. But just when it does, if it starts to go outside and rain, maybe stand underneath that and acknowledge
Mhm.
ancestors that way too. But you're strong, you're resilient, and just stay focused. Use your voice, and of course your voice for good. But we already know that you already have that energy in you. So we've seen the beautiful readings that you've given. So um,
Um, Heather, when you were talking about, I was shuffling my deck when you were talking, when you were doing the reading, and when you said this card flew out when you said you can connect through the tarot to Anne, to Karen.
yeah.
This flew out.
Oh, the cards. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
voice. Yeah, the
yeah.
voice
The
pulling
voice
up the
of your
cards,
cards.
talking,
Yeah,
giving messages.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my. Very nice.
Of course, this doesn't look like our Karen.
No. But it almost looks like there's storms around her head too, or are those just clouds and
Yeah, yeah.
sticks? But no, that's very much her energy. So that's wonderful. Let's see. That resonates heavily, Nancy. That's how my dad visits me in dreams. Thank
Mm.
you. And let's see. That's wild, Heather. I pulled a card today trying to figure out what that Ace of Wands is about. Use your voice came out. Oh, there you go. This is
Yeah.
voice. And the wheels. Synchronicity
Mm-mm.
abounds. Yep. Focus. There you go, girl. Um, oh wow. Yes. And hello, Elizabeth. Hello, hello, my dear. And thank you again for joining me last week. And let me know when you and Nancy would love to join us again for on Monday. We would love to have you on. And we're at 6:21. Morg was asking if it was too late. Morg would be our last person. Morg, are you still here? Morg in the void. I told her if we had time, we would be able to get to her. So, yeah, I have another show tonight at 8 o'clock, and then I have an appointment right after with another friend for backstage. So it's a busy night for Heather, which is good. I'd like to stay busy.
I'm going to make a great big pot of chili when I'm here.
Oh, I got to.
I
Shad's
do.
going to want to know what time dinner is because he loves. Hi, CB. I didn't get. We only have a few minutes, sweetheart, but let me see if she's here because otherwise, I don't know. Let's see. You know what? I don't know if she is. CB, I didn't even see you ask earlier. Did I miss? Um, so, well, I guess she had to take off. But if CB is here, do we want to pull some quick cards for CB?
Okay.
Okay, let's do CB. And then for anybody who didn't, get readings, I will be doing a show with Bobby a little bit later on tonight at 8 o'clock. So if more comes back, she can always stop by and hang out. Bobby is like Nancy said, good company. He's a sweetheart. Oh, this is interesting. Well, the whispers of the mother came back again. So a lot of times these readings are very uh, collective. I keep wanting to say communicative because of the community. Oh, I'm being drawn to pull from this other deck. I have cards just slipping all over the place.
CB, I have 4 cards for you. And the first card, to me, this is showing you giving an offering to your ancestors. And, when we do this, it is setting the intention of we are honoring them with an offering, whether it's a drink or some food or, a crystal. But this shows a drink. And the cards that came out for you, when I look at this, I see a lot of mist around this, and there's the red on the snow. And I'm thinking ancestral healing here, that there is some ancestral healing that needs to be done in your ancestral lineage. And it is heart healing. And so look at the hands and look at to me, it looks like there's, you see the water to me, water shows emotion. And you have your hands out in supplication and the emotion of the moment, and you are opening yourself to this ancestral healing, because in this card it shows those hands that have taken on, you see the red here, these hands have taken on that. Here we go. Wait a minute, I have a terrible time. There we go, the red hands there. I don't know if you can see it. You have taken on their pain and you are healing their pain. And this is very important work for you to do. And I just feel like they're on tippy toes waiting for you to do this. And that's what I have for you, CD.
Wow, it's so cute that you said that last minute. They're waiting on tippy toes for you because I have a card and it looks like she's on tippy toes on the outside petal of this blossoming rose.
Oh,
Um, and thank you, Karen. Appreciate you, girl. You put it more eloquently than I did. So it's called Release the Petals, and this is about shedding, letting go of what no longer serves you and being open to change. It's about transformation, death, and rebirth. So, right now, in connecting with your ancestors, it feels like there it's a message coming through is to release what no longer serves you, to embrace the change, blossom into who you are supposed to be. I did get whispers of the mothers of Mother Earth again, and that is about the channeling, the artist, the writing, the creativity, inspiration. So be inspired. Allow them to help you be inspired. And when you get inspired and you release that which no longer serves you, and your heart is lighter, that's when we're not so clouded and we can feel their energy when we welcome them in. And I did get the Great Mother, which is surrender to mystery and to fall into her arms. And it's just a really beautiful, deep card. Kind of, again, you can see the hands coming together, blossoming of their roses, and almost feels like, again, like a portal, like a rebirth, coming from the Great Mother. Sometimes going into the shadow to do the shadow work, going into the dark, especially this time of year. It's a really good time to really connect, and the veils are still going to be thin for a while. Um, I mean, we can always reach out to our ancestors no matter what part of the year, but at this time, when the veils are still thin and the nights are getting longer, to go and start paying attention. Maybe that writing could be um, keeping a dream journal next to you, writing down what it is that you get, doing again the automatic writing, whatever creatively gets you grounded, relaxed, and open and connected to your ancestors. And the last card is the giving heart, and it's about developing self love. So you really, and look at all these hands, they're coming up to reach up to you, because it's almost like you're turning away from your own heart. Like you don't want to feel your feels, you don't want to love yourself, you don't want to maybe love emotions and things that, I mean, let's face it, we all have emotions that we feel that we don't like, that we get hung up on ourselves about for having, but we're human. We This is what we're here to learn, and so they're there supporting you and your heart and telling you to show some more self-love to yourself, because when we do, that's when, again, we lighten, we can connect better to spirit, we can get grounded. The dark mother, you know getting in the void, grounding, rooting into the earth, and being protected, and then being able to face those wounds, those shadows, and allow that light to open you up, support your heart, and embrace who embrace who you are meant to be. So
mm-hmm.
that is what I have for you, my dear. And again, a lot of these messages are so very collective because even I can relate,
Oh,
to the
yes.
messages.
Oh, yes.
So I have to oh, I'm on low power battery, so this is good timing because I got to plug
Yeah, I just
myself
wanted
back
to
in.
show this card. When we talk about, working with our ancestors, whoop, where'd she go?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I
Um,
just got to plug my.
Remember, it's teamwork. You're working with your ancestors. You're part of their team. You're welcoming them in. And it's a collaborative endeavor.
Okay. Ugh. Sorry, I had to plug my iPad
Ah,
in, and I didn't think anybody wanted to see my big old gut. And now I'm still trying to find where the other end of the cord went. Oh, the struggle is real. Too many cords. There we go. Oh, technology. There we go. Let's plug it in. There we go. Because I don't want to disappear on everybody.
No. Oh no, don't do that. No.
No. So let's see. CB. Oh my Lord, I have no words. I keep coming across the words ancestors and healing. Thank you. Every word makes a lot of sense. Good. That's what we like to hear.
Yes. Yes.
And so
Well,
thank you,
sometimes we
Ange.
pull these cards and we wonder, but we go ahead and we read them because that's what we get.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nancy, again, as always.
And it's been an honor reading for everyone.
It has been. And Nancy, do you have anything coming up this week that you want to share?
No, I don't think I do. I'm still kind of taking it easy.
That's good. Sometimes that's what we got to do.
Yes.
Kick back and we listen to our bodies.
Yes.
And, make sure everybody, I know there's a lot of us here in the States, and I know tomorrow is kind of like the big day. And so I always love what Ginger says is before she heads out, she puts this bubble of protection around her and just asks whatever, only the positive, loving energies to come through and to, transmute any of the negative that's out. So I know it's going to be very hard for me to do tomorrow while I'm standing in line because I live in a very red area, but just hold hope that whatever the outcome is tomorrow night, that is what Spirit has intended, that we learn and move forward. And it's kind of like labor pains. We're going to be going through a lot of transformation and rebirth on many different levels. So make sure you take time to nurture, take care of yourselves, and
yes,
be good to yourselves and everybody when you can. So and yes, Elizabeth says so important to listen to our bodies and to hydrate. So lots of sip.
hydrate.
Exactly. So yes, thank you, Karen. And let's see, today is Monday. I have Bobby tonight at 8:00. We're going to hang out and chill for a bit, do a few mini readings. And then I have Allison with me Friday night. And I think that's it for so far for this week, unless something else pops up. So stay tuned because you never
Heather
know.
is known for her pop-ups.
Yeah, I kept trying to get the itch. I'm like, oh, sitting around. Do I feel like watching TV? No. Do I really want to do that? No. Let's see what everybody else is doing. I'll do a pop-up. So, and Elizabeth says, I've been sleeping more than normal. Our bodies need it. Our energy needs to,
I have been too. I just
drain.
think there's some weird energy afoot right now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We were feeling it today, most definitely. Yeah. Shan was really sensitive to it. I mean, he's a Pisces, so he was really, it was really hitting him. So, okay, everybody. Nancy and I appreciate everybody. You. I love you all, and everyone have a good rest of your night. So, thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.